Today marks 3 years since the remains of Lori Vallow's kids, JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan, were found.
Vallow is accused of using her religious beliefs to justify the murders of her 2 kids.
It's doomsday mom Lori Daybell smirking and smiling as a judge determines she is finally mentally fit to stand trial for the murders of her 2 children.
This video contains the interview of a man who may have helped commit a murder. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell made national news when they became suspects in the murders of Lori's 2 children, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow. Vallow claimed that the children had become zombies and removed both children from school. As the family became more and more concerned when time passed without hearing from the children, Daybell and Vallow were married just 2 weeks after the death of his first wife, Tammy. The timing of the children's disappearance and Tammy's death was suspicious, and the police exhumed Tammy's body for autopsy. They found that Tammy's death was caused by asphyxiation, which was the same cause of death as Vallow's children. Jason Mow is a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints and is a published author. He hosts a popular podcast that Vallow and Daybell had participated in. He is believed to have introduced the 2 and was involved in a ceremony for their relationship within the church.
I didn't know that.
I had some bad memories in this room.
I did not know that.
I believe she used the word incompetent more than once.
Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You know, I hate working after lunch. I really do. All right, Jason, I appreciate you coming down here. I don't want to take too much time, like I said earlier, but you know, I just wanted to meet you, chat with you for a little bit, kind of tell you a little bit about why we've asked you to be here. And so I'm gonna just jump right into that, not waste a lot of time here. The reason we want to talk to you is because throughout this investigation, we're kind of looking ahead at potential problems. One potential problem here is that making accountability for everybody on particular days. Trying to also look into the future and seeing what defense counsel might try to bring up and being able to have an answer for them. And so that's one of the reasons we've asked you to come in here, probably the biggest reason, actually. So, and there's reasons for that I'll tell you after we're done. But I'm trying to get accountability of where, and it's going to take a little bit of thought on your part too. Maybe I'm looking for some dates to place you in locations.
Okay.
The police are trying to determine who may have been involved in Tammy Daybell's death. Mal was instrumental in Daybell and Vallow becoming romantically involved, and it is natural to wonder just how far he may have gone for them.
Have you ever been to Idaho?
Yeah, several times.
Now, somebody told me, does your sister live in Idaho?
Mm-hmm. She was an expert.
And she's married to by the principal Bone, is that what I understand? Mm-hmm. I just found that out today. I know him.
Do you? Michael Bone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
is my sister?
Yeah, I coached this kid in football.
Oh, Jackson?
Yeah, quite a while ago, a great kid when he was growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. Your sister taught my daughter dance.
Yep, that's what she does. That's what she does.
So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I found that out. They're good people. They're very good people. Both of them. Dude, I mean, they're just good people. Anyway, so I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do this, but I'd like to get some accountability of where you were on, let's say, well, actually, let's go October 9th and October 19th of 2019. I know that's a big job. I understand that, but if there's any way.
Let me check my phone and see if I got my calendar back that far. I don't even know what I had for breakfast.
Let's see. I mean, it would have been in the fall. Were you up there in Idaho? Do you recall in the fall at all? In 2019?
Go back there. October. I don't have my glasses with me. Crap. Are those readers?
They are.
I didn't know.
We just call them old man readers.
Yeah.
Because we all have a pair.
I don't have anything here that says that I was in October 2019. I don't have anything that says that.
Would you normally have something booked if you had it planned?
In October, I wasn't teaching then, so it's possible that I was doing a lot of traveling back then, a lot of speaking all over the country. But that usually was in I have it here, if I did anything.
What about the 9th? Yeah, on the 9th?
That would be a Wednesday. No, I don't have anything on a Wednesday, October 19th. And on 9th and the 19th. The 19th, I did an event at Feed My Starving Children here in the Valley.
On what day?
October 19th. I did that.
Where's it been?
According to my calendar, I was at Feed My Starving Children October 19th,
Okay.
which is they package food. So it was probably for my church and took the youth there.
Mow seemingly has an alibi for one of the dates, and it is one that should be easy to confirm. Still, even if he was at the event, depending on the distance and timing, this might not prove his involvement one way or the other.
Feed My
Starving Children. That's what my calendar says. Did you need to see that?
No, I got it.
And then October 9th, I don't have anything for October 9th.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Hey, that Feed That Starving Children,
You may need them more.
that doesn't have anything to do with that organization that Christine
Atwood?
Atwood has anything to do with.
Oh, I have no idea.
Do you know who she is?
The name is familiar. It's a place in Mesa. It's over by where the Fiesta Mall used to be, and it's a processing center.
Okay.
You bring volunteer groups come in, and one guy pours a cup of rice, one guy pours a cup of beans into a package, and then they seal it.
And sometimes teams compete against each other for how many they can package up in one sitting.
This Christine Atwood, she has a charity that she runs or is involved with, and it has to do with.
Oh, you know what? I know who she is. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, it doesn't.
Different one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was 19. Nothing on the 9th. If I asked you to look through any financials, or generally the best way to do is financials, or do you got any? Oh God, you got any calls or texts that go back to the 19th of?
The 19th or the 9th?
Or excuse me, the 9th or the 9th. Well, I guess 9th, really the 9th. Calls, texts.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
I know with my phone, I got stuff.
They do cycle off after a while.
Geez, I got stuff on there from. It's silly. I just need to go.
How long have you had that phone in particular?
This one in particular, less than a year.
Oh.
Yeah, my
probably
calendar doesn't go back. It drops off. Well, it's reloading. Sorry.
Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. I mean.
No, it doesn't seem to want to go back that far.
You normally use your debit card when you go out and about to get food or whatever?
Almost 100%, yeah. Unless I'm traveling, and I use my business card for everything.
The credit cards would be helpful if Mow used them at a location that would put him away from the crime scene at the right time. There's also the possibility that he chose to use cash for any incriminating transactions.
And if you had the ability to online, go back in time for those records to check those dates where you're using the card. That could be helpful.
I just want to see, I want to just be able to say, okay, we talked to Jason. He said this is where he was. This is how we show where he was.
Okay. Am I getting drug into this?
It's, I think, more along the lines of to not.
Yeah.
Jason, did he tell you what's happening to me online and the social media because of all this?
I don't. I would tell you that I kind of keep track of that on my own just by being involved in the case. I know that you've taken a hammering on it.
Yeah.
So, and I feel bad for you. I truly do. I don't. I think it's probably undeserved.
I mean, they got wanted posters out for me. Some of these wingnuts. They're calling. They're canceling my shows. They're messing with my employment. I mean, they try to get my books canceled.
Yeah. So like Dan said, one of the best ways, and you know this,
I do.
You're a cop. You were a cop.
You don't have to give it to me. You don't have to sugarcoat it. What do you mean?
What I want, what I really need, is you to consent to just giving us some DNA, so a mouth swab. Here's why. Some of this evidence we have is forensics, and I want to be able to say that any DNA that we come up with is not yours. Before the defense comes up and says, well, did you go test him? Did you talk to him? Because Jason, if you don't think that's a possibility here,
I know.
that's exactly the way they're going to try. They're going to come from every angle, from everybody.
I know. Swab
That's
it.
why I want to put you here.
I have
Not
nothing to do
Idaho.
with this. Swab it. I got what you got.
I mean,
Whatever I have to do to get myself away from this crowd.
I think this is probably the best way, because then you can say there's nothing here that indicates this.
Nope.
So go find something else.
Mow makes himself out to be a victim, disregarding the fact that 4 people, including 2 children, have been murdered. He has strong ties to both Daybell and Vallow, and while it is unfair to treat him as if he is guilty based on association alone, it isn't surprising that the general public has an opinion.
And you're not the only one we're getting with.
So I think my stuff's already on file.
Probably. I know your prints are for sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to collect or do you want me to?
No, you go ahead. I'll watch it.
Are you taking this back to Idaho, or you got it?
I'll take it back to Idaho, and if we come up with, because a lot of stuff is still at the lab. In fact, they're arguing today. Should be arguing today. So you probably get online and watch it. They should be arguing today on some DNA testing. If we get DNA that's that we don't know whose it is, we may send that and say, compare this. But you know,
I know.
I'm truly just doing this to make sure that, you know, you're accounted for.
I know.
You're not there.
Every bunch of those kids needs to burn in hell, so. If you want me to.
I can't agree with you more.
That list is getting long. So you still doing a bunch of traveling and doing any, or how many?
COVID shut everything down. Yeah, I was. Matter of fact, the last time I was in Idaho, I lectured at the Y there. I was for Education Week.
Really?
One of the guest lecturers there.
During the Education Week.
Yeah.
How long? When was that?
Last year. Was it last? No, it was before COVID, so it's 2 years ago.
No, just cheeks. There we go.
But that was over the summer. I think it was on Education Week.
Yeah, I don't live too far from your sister's wedding.
Well, their son, Jackson, was on his mission and he had to come home. He was having some.
Did he?
Yeah, he was having some transitional problems, so he had to come home and straighten himself out.
He's a good kid.
He is.
He's a good kid. I wish he would have stayed playing.
Every time I see him, he wants to spar with me because he's all into that taekwondo.
Is he?
He likes rolling around with me.
See that? Didn't he take karate?
Yeah, he did taekwondo for many years, and he switched over. He went straight MMA for a little bit before he left.
Because I remember something about when he started coming playing football that he was doing some karate or something. He's a big kid, or he was. I haven't seen him in a
He's
while.
solid. He's thick. It's like trying to wrestle a tree trunk down.
Huh.
But his love is music, though. He can play anything. It's awesome. He's got all kinds of instruments that he can play.
No, his dad's just a little weird. I was in his office. And I think he was actually the author of these books. Doesn't he write books
He wrote a couple
like
a pirate book.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there talking about it, and he's telling me about it. I'm like, I never would have thought you would be into that like you were. To write stories like that. Yeah. Teach your own, good deal. All right. Jason, were you at all up in Idaho during the month of September or October of 2019?
I don't think so. I can't remember. There's nothing on my calendar. So.
Would you check for me?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
and then we'll reach back out to you, or I'll leave you with the card. You can get
You want pictures of my financial records for
I
that?
think
month?
if you could provide, I guess, particulars to show your location with financials, that would be fabulous.
Really on I'm really curious about the 9th or the 19th.
Okay.
But if you were
But
up
also
there,
the one in
So I don't
September.
forget. Can you guys write the dates down that you can do this one?
yeah, and then also if you were up there anytime between the months of the 1st of August until the 1st of November
Of the 19th?
of 19. You were up there a couple years ago and gave that talk. Where was that at? Oh, not at BYU. Or you said it was at BYU, but
Well, I've been up there a few times. I actually spoke at the school. I spoke at the Tabernacle. I spoke at Mike Bones' school. What was this? I spoke at a fireside at a church there. I've been up there a couple times. I spoke in Blackfoot. I did book signings in Rexburg and Idaho Falls. I got a huge fan base.
So let's do this then. If you were up there through the month of the 1st of August through the 1st of November, whether it be Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, any of those surrounding areas, towards Rexburg, let me know where that was.
Okay.
And the dates. But I'm really particular about if you were up in the Rexburg area through at the 1st of August through November 1st.
Okay.
So if you can help us out, just to
Can I
let
just
us know.
forward it to Coons or send it to you?
Either or. I'll give you my card. But either or.
I don't know if you still have mine. My email's on the bottom there.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I had your number, but you should get a new phone.
No, that one was updating, so I had to get
that's
with
right,
you,
that's
so.
right.
Dan, can I see your pen? Oh, never mind.
You still have it.
Got it. Got it. We'll just get it right on the back.
I'm sorry, you have to deal with this madness, man.
This is my life. This has been my life the last year and a half, myself and Ray's. This is what we do almost every day, so I understand where you're coming from. I don't mean to be a bother, but it's not, to me, it's not so much as, it's covering, dotting all I's, crossing every T.
I've done a few of these myself, man. I get you. I get it.
You know
this,
that-
this has international implications.
Yeah, you know that there's things that you have to do that you just think's kind of, it's to do work. And I kind of think this is probably one of them. But I want to be able to say, this is where Jason was during these days. He wasn't in Rexburg, and his DNA's not here. And so that just, I want to make sure that avenue is cut off from the get-go.
Yep. No, I agree.
So I don't want to cause you any more grief than what you're already going through with this whole thing.
I appreciate that.
So, I don't think
I just want my name to get clear, because I want it to be blatantly clear that these fucking wingnuts on the internet don't know what they're talking about. I have nothing to do with this at all, so.
I think this will help.
Yeah,
Because-
the keyboard detectives don't have a lot of the information.
I know, but what they don't, they start making crap up, and
I think there'll be a one point in time where you can say, you know what, I gave the cops DNA. I told them where it was. I showed them where I was.
Mow has worked in law enforcement and knows how the process works. He also realizes that even if he is innocent, there will be those that choose to believe that the police have covered up his involvement to protect one of their own.
And, you know, if things happen out in court that this comes out for, well, it's said in court. You don't even have to say anything. I mean, so this is a good thing.
I know, it just sucks.
Okay.
I was enjoying retirement.
One day I will.
Well, let's hope we can get you back to that part too.
All right.
You good?
Yep. Pretty simple.
All right.
And just give me a call or run the stuff in the DM. Either or. I'll get it.
Yeah, we're in communication a lot anyways.
How many more months you got?
23?
It's worth it.
I think so.
Your time is good.
So, while we're just in here, because I've never really been clear, how much contact did you ever have with Lori? Did you ever have contact with Chad?
Maybe 3 times in my life.
With Chad?
Yeah.
Was it just at these conferences?
Yeah, he was a guest on my podcast and at the conferences. Yeah.
Did you ever get with him?
Mow tries to distance himself from Chad Daybell. He tries to make it sound as if they had limited interaction, but his involvement in the sealing ceremony between Daybell and Vallow suggests otherwise.
Were you ever alone with him when he started these conversations?
I've never been alone with him. I can answer that question right now.
Never been with anybody. Did you ever attend any meetings with him when he started talking about these things you've heard about, dark light, zombies, dead people, dark spirits and people? You ever hear anything like that from him?
No.
How about Lori?
No. I had no idea she was capable of doing what she did.
How'd you meet Lori? Seems like I might know, but
I don't remember who it was, but I was actually in the LDS temple in Gilbert.
Oh, really?
And I passed by, what is her name?
Gib?
No.
Oh, jeez. Zulima? I mean, is it one of the friends of theirs? I'd go through them all.
Yeah, I don't remember. She's really tall. She's got blonde hair. I don't remember her name. Crap.
See, there's Melanie, Zulima,
Serena, Christina.
Julie.
No. Oh, man.
Nicole?
Nicole, what's her last name? Do you remember?
No.
Really tall.
I've never seen her yet.
I think it might have been Nicole. Used to be in a ward out there. I can't remember her name. But I was we passed each other and.
Well, were you in Lori's ward?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought Nicole might have been in.
And I think it's Nicole and Lori were there, and as I passed by, what was told to me was Lori said, "That's the guy that wrote those books about Captain Rowan." And
Oh, yeah.
Lori wanted to meet me. And so said hi, shook hands, all that stuff, and that's how we met. And then she was in the large circle of people that I knew through doing my podcast and my speaking and stuff. And that's the acquaintance that I had with her. And then she was friends with Melanie. She became friends with Melanie. And then she was a recurring guest on the podcast. Have you had a chance to hear the podcast and stuff?
Your podcast, I really haven't.
Yep. And
What do you go under?
For what?
For your podcast, what's your podcast called?
It's called Time to Warrior Up.
Okay. Oh, you know what? You didn't know that.
But we shut that down. I shut that down a long time ago. I got a job as a seminary teacher, and so I couldn't do the podcast anymore. So I stopped.
Are you still doing that?
Right.
How's that going?
I never imagined myself ever teaching high school kids about God. That was the farthest thing from my mind. And I was in the right place at the right time, and they needed an answer. That seminary teacher had, for adoption high school, had been promoted, and they didn't have anybody, and somebody thought I'd be a good fit. So they went through the process, and I became an employee of the church, and now I teach seminary.
Good. Some of the best people I know were my seminary teachers. They're good people. I don't want to pry too much, but I want to get just a bit personal here. You're married now.
Yes.
When you knew Lori, were you married?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any type of relationship with Lori?
No.
I want to cut the head off that snake right now.
No.
Okay. And Chad again, we talked to him a few times on your podcast, and you met him at a conference?
That's it.
Talked to him at a conference?
Yeah, 1 or 2 conferences, and he was a guest on my podcast. I've never been alone with him. Never met his family.
Never talked to us about this bizarre stuff like dark, his wife was going to die, or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No. That would have sent some red flags up.
Okay. Didn't you have anything? I don't think I got anything. I think that's it. If you just kind of try to give me the best you can accountability for those times, that'd be awesome. And we can just
Shouldn't be an issue to pull those records up.
hopefully put this to bed.
Okay.
So, all right, good. It is funny, connections.
Right? Yeah, funny. That's what I was thinking.
Well, it's like,
Lori Vallow Daybell was found guilty of murdering her 2 children and conspiring to murder her 5th husband's first wife. She is due to be sentenced July 31st, 2023. Chad Daybell is still awaiting trial. As of yet, there has been no one else charged with these crimes.